This album, this, this is fucking terrible. So Florida Georgia Line are potentially in the top 10 worst acts of the 2010s. I would go as far as saying they have put out some of the most atrocious country music I've ever laid my ears on. To the point where I can completely understand why country music is such an off-putting genre for most people, considering these are the front runners of country this decade. These have been at the top of the game. They've had like top 10 hits somehow. And bro country as a genre is it's abhorrent. It is so gross to listen to. And these guys are the pinnacle of that. It's sleazy, it's cheesy, it's basically any stereotypical jock character you've ever seen in a teen movie film, except they're like countryfied. And Can't Say I Ain't Country is not only a very defensive album title, but it is near parody levels of country music. Like, this is as if two people have just took all the stereotypes you could possibly come up with and just throw it all in one album. Like, this is so unbelievable. I can't believe this is real. Like, this doesn't sound like a serious album that two people have put together in creating an album. It sounds more like Tenacious D have done a country album, basically. This is The Lonely Island doing country. This is Weird Al Yankovic doing a country album. This is not real. This cannot be real. The way this guy friggin' sings, he puts on like the worst southern twang to his voice that I still can't believe. Like, I can't genuinely take it seriously. It's so bad the way he's like, swerve. The voicemail skits as well across this album. Did they invite Mater from Cars to do these? Can't deny that I got a lot of laughs out of this album, man, but it's just unreal that these are like one of the biggest country acts around. This is like Imagine Dragons all over again for me. Like, a very successful and famous artist putting out this kind of level of music shouldn't be happening. Like, you shouldn't be getting one of the worst albums of the year from one of the biggest artists around. How are they hitting every cliche they possibly could ever hit on tracks like Simple? They're literally spelling out the word simple on the chorus. How basic can you get with that? Seriously, they're fucking whistling on the track. There's like hand claps. They're just like ticking every cliche on the checklist. I don't know how they do it. They even have the audacity to fucking question critics and the haters on the track Can't Say Ain't Country on an album where they have Jason Derulo featured. You have Jason Derulo on a country album and you're trying to convince everyone that you're not faking how country you are. Come on! Women, they're so great. Women. It somehow gets preachier than that though. On the track People Are Different, where it's like, people are different, they're all different colours and shades, and we should just all be friends and live in harmony, yeah, yeah. The sentiment is totally fine, but the execution is atrocious. Like, oh my god, they're saying things that we all already know. What are you doing with this song? Another thing about this album that's atrocious is the banjo usage on so many of these tracks. Banjos were a mistake, weren't they? Like, banjos almost never sound good. You either get Vance Joy levels of like Riptide, or you get a ridiculous overusage of the banjo that's somehow even more intolerable than what Mumford & Sons have been doing for years. You've got to appreciate how they use it on Speed of Love though, where like on the verses, they're like talking about, you know, falling in love, and then as soon as the chorus hits, it speeds up just like the speed of love. What a metaphor. The poetry is untouchable. It is beautiful. You do have to appreciate the irony on that track though, because on the very same song he's talking about marrying a girl after a few weeks of knowing her. Well, let me tell you, man, that divorce is gonna come quicker than the speed of love. Once you get to the middle section of the album though, I really did start to fade out. Like, I was just not really zoning in on the album, I really had to go and find my tractor and sit into it. And then once I was in my tractor, I felt back in the zone, you know? I was really in the album because I needed that tractor to feel things. I think I'm kidding, but there are songs where they mention tractors on this album. Like, if you think that they don't hit every cliche of the country stereotype they possibly can, you're wrong, because they do. Two super rich dudes that probably live in like amazing houses that are super expensive and they're probably set for life, but they're still trying to give off this impression that they're these like down to earth, like, you know, country boys that live it real, you know, they keep it real, they're living on farms and stuff like that. They don't live these amazing lifestyles. They're these two down to earth guys who are still the rednecks. They'll never go away. They see it in everything, and you know, they would rather have their pickup truck over a Cadillac and that kind of thing. Maybe that is true. I can't exactly judge them based on that, but I wouldn't mind it so much if the songs actually sounded good. They don't sound good. There's even this one track as well. I can't even remember the name of it. What a poor critic I am for doing this, but there are these like backing vocals, and I swear it was like a Jonas brother coming through just to sing in the background. It was so cheesy. Even when they like stray away from like the really super country songs with like all the stereotypical instruments you would use, and they change it up to make like a ballad type song, they still completely botch it. Like, they still sound atrocious. The guy's voice doesn't fit either style of music. Honestly, he sounds more fitting for rock music, this guy. This guy can't do a ballad, this guy can't do country. It's because his voice is so like deep and gruff that it just sounds hilarious over these kind of instrumentals. He should be doing Nickelback covers. This isn't his style of music at all, and yet somehow he's got away with it for all this time. Look, there's no point in me carrying on, because you've probably already guessed that this is one of the worst albums I've laid my ears on from this entire decade. Probably obvious, I guess. Most music lovers and music listeners already know that this band isn't particularly very good, but I still felt the need to talk about this because I couldn't believe what I was listening to when I listened to this. I would honestly say, do give it a listen for how funny it is. Honestly, like, you're gonna get some entertainment value out of this, but don't be surprised if you come out of this thinking it's a 2 out of 10, because that's what I came out of this thinking. If you enjoyed watching this review, thank you for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. That'd be great. Have a good day. Goodbye.